Good evening, I'm Marc Lamont Hill. Welcome to Black News Tonight. Our top headline, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is being sued for allegedly denying a white reporter an interview. The Daily Caller News Foundation and reporter Thomas Catenacci filed the lawsuit in federal court, alleging that Lightfoot violated their free speech and civil rights outlined in the First and 14th Amendments. Catenacci calls the move, quote, blatantly discriminatory. Lightfoot announced last week that for one day only, she would be giving interviews to journalists of color, a move that she hoped would start a conversation about diversity among City Hall reporters who are mostly white. She addressed this issue during a press conference after a reporter asked her about the decision.
When I look out at across this podium, as I'm doing now, I don't see much in the way of diversity. The fact that the City Hall press corps is overwhelmingly white, has very little in the way of diversity, is an embarrassment. We are a city that is almost 3/4 people of color. I believe that the City Hall press corps needs to reflect the diversity of our city. And I saw some of the commentary, which frankly was insulting, to suggest that journalists of color won't ask the tough questions. Really? To suggest that somehow I'm saying certain journalists are racist? Really? No, the facts are the facts. And the fact is that this press corps does not reflect the diversity of the city, and it makes a difference in the kinds of coverage.
Mayor Lightfoot did make it clear that the decision was only to make her 2-year anniversary in office. A Philly steakhouse is causing controversy. Upscale restaurant Steak 48 is sparking a debate after posting dress code and minimum spending policies. Some say the establishment is targeting black folk. The company is enforcing a $100 per person food and beverage minimum and a 16-point list of forbidden clothing. The dress code forbids sweatshirts, t-shirts with large images, screen printing or large logos, large writing or characters, bustiers, corsets, bandeau and tube tops, and also you can't wear under a waist-length jacket. Meanwhile, the $100 minimum tabs, whoo, that's big money, which cover food and drinks, but not the 18% minimum tip on parties of 5 or more people, are in effect at the Steak 48 locations in Philadelphia and Chicago. The restaurant says it's to ensure that each guest enjoys the total experience of food, service, and atmosphere. Well, hell, look, if I gotta wear a whole tuxedo and spend $100 a head plus the tip in order to enjoy myself, then yeah, I better have a good experience. My issue is not with restaurants having dress codes. Restaurants can have dress codes because they want to promote a certain kind of ambiance. Restaurants can say, hey, you got to spend a certain amount. I'm okay with that. I don't love it for people. But if you want to have a restaurant where everybody who comes in there got to spend $100 plus the tip plus everything else, and so 5 friends want to have dinner, they got to spend $500 minimum plus the tip and tax and all that stuff, that's fine. Where it becomes problematic is when the dress code itself is racially targeted. We live in a country that often has race-neutral laws and policies on their face, but in practice play out differently. So they're saying you have to have a certain kind of dress code. But if I say, look, we don't want no Stacey Adams shoes, we don't want no t-shirts that say rest in peace and airbrush, we know who they talking about, no wave caps, that ain't for white people. The issue is, are the rules targeted to certain people, and particularly black folk in this case? The second question is it going to be selectively applied? Because sometimes, in this case, it seems like they're saying, in general, rules that apply to black and white folk, most of them, although some of them look a little sketchy to me. But the problem is, and we see this not just in Philadelphia and Chicago at this particular restaurant, we see this in restaurants all around the country, is that there will be a set of policies that, again, look fine and they look universal, but the restaurant will only point to black people. Rich white people wear black t-shirts all the time. They wear them in LA, they wear them in Atlanta, they wear them in New York, and they get into the fanciest of restaurants. If somebody wants to wear some Givenchy sneakers and they done paid $1,000 for them and they want to rock them, white men do that all the time. And nobody doesn't let them in the restaurant. But now when your cousin want to go in there with them same sneaks on, they're going to say, oh, you're violating the dress code. Technically, yes, but you didn't apply it to anybody else, and that becomes the problem. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Outrage in Mississippi after officers with the Prentice Police Department took a picture with an alleged bank robbery suspect. The photo shows the officers surrounding a black man on the ground in handcuffs, smiling with dogs. Investigators captured Eric Boykin in a wooded area near a Hancock Bank, which he's accused of robbing with a handgun. Social media users pointed out how bad the picture looks. Many people were upset, as am I, that the photo looked like they had a trophy. I mean, look at it. Now, they're literally looking like they captured a deer. The look of satisfaction on their faces, the way that they're why do you need to pose when you put somebody in handcuffs? Why does that need to happen at all? You did your job. Whether we like the job or not is a different conversation. But you did the job. Why are you smiling? Now, my other question is about the dog, right? The way you have that dog positioned on this man also feels threatening and violent to me. It feels unnecessary. The gun, the way it's laid out on the gentleman on your right, on your screen, the way that gun is laid out over his vest, it makes me anxious. My third question is, why is this Negro smiling? I just want to know. There's no judgment. I'm just genuinely curious to know what they had to do to get this black man who just got caught robbing a bank to pose for the picture. So that makes me wonder, did they cut a deal with him? Did they say if you smile, you'll get less time? Did they do something? Or is he high as giraffe booty and don't know what's going on? Any of this is possible. It's Friday. I'm just trying to understand what's going on here. Moving on. Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors is stepping down today. The Black Lives Matter movement has grown and gone mainstream since its early days as a hashtag. BNC's Eric Cox explains the movement's history and how it's impacted the world.
From social media to major movement, the phrase Black Lives Matter was born in July of 2013. Its first forms written in Facebook posts as responses to the acquittal of the man who killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin.
You know, when we started Black Lives Matter, people told us to tone it down, and I'm so glad we did not.
Alicia Garza is one of the originators of the hashtag, along with Patrisse Cullors and Opal Tometi. Earlier this week, former President Barack Obama praising the organization's efforts.
It's a lot harder to dismantle momentum for a movement when you've got a whole bunch of people all at once who are in communications and coordinating and working together. It's not dependent on one person.
The BLM movement wasn't an overnight success, the message not reaching a wider audience until the following summer.
Whose city? Our city! Whose city? Our city!
When protests and unrest popped up across the country after the deadly police shootings of 18-year-old Mike Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, Eric Garner in New York City, and 12-year-old Tamir Rice in Cleveland.
Black Lives Matter, not just the organization, but the movement and the idea. It is not just entrenched now in our culture, but it is becoming a policy debate that is long overdue.
Over the years, the movement's continued expanding as our nations witnessed more deaths of Black Americans at the hands of police. Freddie Gray, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. Now, there's over 40 chapters of Black Lives Matter based in the U.S.
This is what democracy looks like.
The U.K. and Canada.
What we have seen is the growing and expansion and entrenchment of a movement that has not just changed this country, but has changed this world.
Cullors' resignation comes on the heels of controversy over the foundation's finances, but Cullors claims her departure has been in the works for over a year, calling the controversy nothing more than personal attacks from right-wing groups and other people out to tarnish BLM. Speaking of controversy, Bill Cosby was denied parole because he apparently didn't want to complete a class for sex offenders. The Pennsylvania Parole Board said Cosby hasn't developed a parole release plan, and he received a negative recommendation from the Department of Corrections. A spokesperson for Cosby says the denial isn't surprising, but Cosby continues to proclaim his innocence and remains hopeful that his conviction will be vacated. He was convicted on sexual assault charges in 2018. Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. Bill Cosby. This is such a fascinating circumstance. First of all, this speaks to some of the challenges that many abolitionists have, myself included, with the idea that prison is the corrective to all of our social problems, our social crises, our social contradictions. If prison's supposed to rehabilitate, it's supposed to make you better, it ain't happening with Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's still saying he ain't do it. And I understand, to my second point, that if you didn't do it, you shouldn't have to proclaim your innocence. You shouldn't have to proclaim your guilt as a condition of parole if you didn't do it. Because essentially they're going to say then that you can never get out. So if Bill Cosby says he didn't do it, then we should be considering that. Here's the problem. He did it. Not just because the jury said it, but because the evidence shows it. Even based on what Bill Cosby says he did, even based on his own accounts from the 60s, 70s, and 80s with Spanish fly and drugging women, even with what he was actually convicted for in 2004, all of it suggests guilt and a certain kind of perverse stubbornness that he refuses to take a class for sexual offenders. Even if it's a class that he doesn't think he needs, why not just take it? But he's actually doubling down on something. He thinks he's standing on principle. He's allowing himself to be presented as a martyr, as someone who is being wrongfully accused of some attack on black men, when in fact, based on what he says he did, he has satisfied the conditions for being a sexual predator. I'm not saying that as a personal attack against Bill Cosby. I don't care for Bill Cosby, but that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about based on what the jury said. I'm talking about based on what the account said. I'm talking about based on what the report said. I'm talking about based on what Bill Cosby himself said with the quaaludes at the parties. So it's a bit challenging for me to think about what to do with a guy like Bill Cosby, because he's clearly a threat to society. So we need some form of restraint for him, but prison doesn't seem to be a healthy way of doing it. But it's also hard to feel sympathetic for Bill Cosby when he's such a recalcitrant, stubborn, condescending, narcissistic piece of human garbage. All right.